Hi Pisces, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for January. Hope everybody's well. I will take a quick second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Pisces, so take what resonates for you and just leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse, so if it is resonating, Pisces, get in where you fit in, even if it's on the other side. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Pisces? Pisces. All right, I like that your energy is coming out very smoothly and very readily. You're starting out with the Four of Wands. You have the Strength card in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like there's something here that's coming together for you. There's a reason for celebration. It's stability being placed back. Some of you could be getting married, or you could be, leveling up your connection that you're in. Now, that being said, there's a little bit of fear that's involved with that. The Strength card in reverse, it indicates fear. It indicates your fears are being activated by this leveling up. Even though you're happy, and even though, it's a good thing and it's providing that stability you've been looking for, it's still creating a little bit of underlying fear as well. And then also with the Nine of Pentacles here, I do have to point out that the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is indicating for some of you, only take it if it applies to you, that there is some codependency that needs to be addressed. So it looks like this relationship, or this this stability that's coming in, is creating a situation where you're now addressing fears and codependency as well. I do feel like this this is something that you're more than capable of handling. But it's something that Spirit is basically saying, hey, you know what, Pisces, you need to look at this. Now, let's see who is in your energy. Show me who is in Pisces energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the King of Wands. You could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. And coming out together, we have the Ten of Cups reversed along with the Lovers in reverse. So the person that's in your energy, I feel like this is somebody who is very proactive. They could be a high-level manager of some sort, but I will say that they have this very attractive appearance. They're used to people, chasing after them, wanting to be with them. They are somebody who is very charismatic, and I do feel like this is somebody who's also very proactive. There's some imbalance in their energy as well here. They could be a little selfish. They could be thinking more about themselves. This is what could be triggering your fears, because this person, they could be kind of breadcrumbing a little bit, or they could be in this situation where they're feeling unbalanced by everything. With the Ten of Cups coming out with the Lovers in reverse, this is somebody that is currently unhappy because of a breakup. It would have been the same breakup where you were feeling a deep sense of loss. They may feel that you chose to go in another direction, so there's unhappiness about that. So let me see the energy between Pisces and this person. Yeah, the Death card in reverse. So this must be somebody here, Pisces, from your past. There was a physical ending here, but you both are still emotionally attached to one another. This person is, being proactive. They're wooing you. I can see that this person is wooing you with this King of Wands here. This is somebody who is, feeling that even though there's been a physical ending, it's not over. It's not over. They're still emotionally attached. This person has a lot of sexual energy towards you. And I do feel like you're accepting of the energy that they are bringing you, because for some reason it's bringing in stability. It's bringing in this sense of being united, being, coming back together, because you still have emotions for them as well. Now, some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Gemini. Let me see what's affecting the connection is the Chariot. Yeah, there's forward movement that's taking place here. But this forward movement is bringing up your fears, and it's also bringing up a sense of being unsettled and unbalanced in their energy as well. I do see forward movement, and I do see that both of you are on board with that forward movement. Let me see your outcome. The Magician in the reverse. More Gemini energy, very strong Gemini energy. So this has not yet quite manifested. And why? Well, because it is bringing up, these past issues. These are past issues that as this begins to move forward, it likely towards some sort of a reconciliation, or there's been a reconciliation. There's still all this unfinished business here, and it's going to bring up these issues for both of you. So I do feel like this is not going to quite manifest, or it's not manifesting quite the way you want it to by the end of the week, but it does look like it's something that is in process. And what can you do about that? Well, you can address your fears. You can address codependency. This person needs to look at issues of, balance, being sure that they're giving as much as they're receiving. And also there's a deep-seated unhappiness that this person has in relation to either the way this ended, or possibly feeling like you chose someone over them. So bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. This is underlying energy. This does indicate that at some point there was a deep loss felt here. It also may indicate that for some of you, you don't feel the support of close friends or family, with regard to bringing this back together. So let me see. We're going to clarify, Pisces. Why is the Four of Wands here? All right, we have the World in reverse. So that's more of that energy saying, no, things are not finished here. And we have the Star card in reverse. I will say, though, that you almost gave up on this. There's a sense here where at some point when this thing ended, you felt rather hopeless. Now, you are recognizing that there is an imbalance that is here. Your emotions could be all over the place. It looks like there's a little bit of a roller coaster ride with your emotions right now. You don't want this to end. You don't feel like it's over. There's been a reason to celebrate, like a coming back together with this person, but you're also recognizing, hey, you know what? There's still some things that need to be addressed, and there's still healing that needs to take place here. And you're recognizing, Pisces, that has not completed yet either. So let me see why the Strength card is in reverse. All right. Three of Cups reversed and the Empress in reverse. So your fears are centered around feeling as if this might not grow. It might move forward, but is it going to actually heal? Is it going to grow? Is it going to become everything that it actually could be? There is still some unhappiness here. I do feel like some of you guys are isolating. You're not really going out with friends, family. This could also be partially because you don't feel like friends or family are supporting the situation. But there's a sense of isolation here, which is, leaning into this codependency. And there's a need for you to really take a step back and look at your value, your self-worth, your ability to attract what it is that you want. It's almost like I feel that you're kind of getting buried in old patterns, old conditioning. And if you're not, then there's a fear that you will be. I do see that you want to go full steam ahead, but your fears are definitely coming up here. Let me see your outcome or your bottom energy. Why is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse for Pisces? All right, Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So there's a conversation you need to have, it looks like. There's somebody new in your energy that is angry with you. And you know what? That's probably who this person is unhappy about. I don't know if you're having communication with somebody. Page of Wands is a new thing. It's something that was new and exciting. You've cut that person out, but they're angry. There's anger there. So I do feel like you want to have a conversation with this person. You're not sure if they are open to having the conversation. I do feel like, again, it's that energy, Pisces, where you may be dipping back into that codependent behavior where you're just going to go along to get along. So be careful with that, because I see you approaching this subject and then quickly backing down because you feel that this person's just not open to it. And they are unhappy about there being somebody new in your energy. I'm not seeing that you're dating anyone else. I'm not seeing you going out with anyone else. But there's somebody that I feel like you cut out and that person was angry with you. Let's see this person's energy. Show me the King of Wands for the person in Pisces energy. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands and we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this person has always been attracted to you, Pisces. They felt very stuck. They didn't know how to move forward. They were waiting. I feel like they have finally taken action because they just were still emotionally attached, but they were in this very stuck energy for quite some time. You both kind of were. You had kind of given up hope on them actually doing anything about it. And I do feel like that it's because they were waiting. They didn't know how to proceed forward. And at some point, it looks like they just took action. Let me see why the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. Okay, we have the Two of Coins and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they've made up their mind. They want a stable new beginning with you. They're also working on their money. I feel like this person's money is coming a lot slower than what they had thought it would. So I do see this person, using their charms, using their skills in order to increase their money. At some point, they may have been robbing Peter to pay Paul, or they may even currently be, because their money's off a little bit. But it is coming. It is coming if it hasn't already. But with regard to you, this person wants to move forward. They want to go, full steam ahead. I do feel like this person can be a little bit selfish, though. They can be a little bit unbalanced in what they're willing to give. That could be financially related, or it could be work related. But I do see this person wanting to have a stable new beginning with you. They've already made up their mind. They weighed up the pros and cons of taking action towards you, of moving forward. Now, for some of you, this is a physical move. I don't know if one of you is moving, because a chariot can indicate moves or travel. You could be talking about traveling. You could be talking about moving, or moving in together. I don't know, but there's this energy of movement here. There's definitely emotional movement. Let's see this person's concerns here. Let's look at the bottom for the person in Pisces energy. Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Five of Wands. Yeah, see, this person in your energy, Pisces, they cannot tolerate any competition. That's what they're unhappy about. It could even produce some conflict. They're trying not to. They're trying not to be argumentative about it, because this person may have also had someone new in their energy as well with this Page of Cups. But I do feel like this person, there's somebody that's new in your energy that you cut out. And this person knows that you cut this person out, but there's jealousy. This is jealousy. This person's unhappy because they feel like at some point you chose that person over them. And it could even cause some conflict between the two of you, although they're trying to avoid conflict. I also feel like this person definitely does have deep emotions for you. You're both like in this energy of like, you're testing the waters a little bit. I feel like there's something here. There's been a unifying force here between the two of you. You're both moving forward, but internally, each of you are kind of testing that water a little bit. But they don't want to argue, but they're having a hard time with the fact that that you had someone else in your energy. That's very difficult for this person. And I do feel like if they do become a little bit argumentative, they will quickly nip that in the bud and they will apologize for that behavior. They also do feel like, there was someone new in their energy, it looks like, but they felt like that person didn't have enough to offer. And I feel like their emotions were still tied up with your relationship. So let me see the energy between Pisces and this person, please. All right, we have the Seven of Wands and the Devil. So you were standing your ground with this person. Yeah, you were standing your ground. You knew that there was a lot that needed to be healed here. And I feel like you can be a little bit defensive with this person because there's still some toxic energy here. I would have rather seen the Devil come out in the reverse. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. But I feel like if you see anything toxic, you're going to kind of put up your guard with this person. I'm also seeing, though, that you feel a need to defend yourself with others. That could be what I'm seeing here with close friends or family that you feel unsupported by. But you're definitely going to fight for this connection. Now, this person, I feel like they are like so attracted to you. It's unbelievable. It was hard for them. They were kind of standing back. They were waiting, but they feel that the two of you belong together, that there should never have been anybody between the two of you. Now, be careful, though, because while I'm seeing some stuff in your energy that Spirit is asking you to look at and to heal, I'm also seeing it in their energy, which makes a lot of sense because this relationship ended because of toxicity. And so at some point, if you're coming back together with this person, that has to be addressed on both sides. So there is still some toxic energy here. Let me see why the Chariot is here. And that's likely bringing up some issues for you. What is it they say? Once bitten, twice shy. So anything that reminds you of what took place is going to bring that back up. All right, so I do feel like this person in your energy has regrets for the way things ended between the two of you. In fact, you both do. You're both looking back at the past and trying to learn from it and to move out of it. I feel like you were devastated when this relationship ended. There's an energy here of, whenever this relationship ended, you didn't want to go out, you didn't want to socialize, you were in a little bit of poverty mindset, but I feel like you kind of, addressed that. You moved forward from it, but you were always hopeful that this person would reach out to you. Yeah, I do feel like so. And that finally happened here with the Chariot. That being said, your fears are that this is not going to grow. Your fears are that you're going to be unhappy. Your fear is that this is going to end. So while you're moving ahead, I do see your fears are on Front Street, at least for you, but not so much to everyone else, because everyone else sees you moving, steaming ahead. In their energy, when the two of you came apart, this person was very sad. They went through a very, possibly even a depression. They questioned, did Pisces ever love me? So their stuff is coming up as well, and this may cause them to kind of pull back occasionally, but I don't think their fears are as strong as yours are. They're trying to learn from everything that happened in the past, but again, when they think about you being with this new person that I'm seeing, this caused them a lot of concern. Their question here is, how could Pisces have been with someone else and still love me? So that's their question. But I still feel like both of you are moving ahead. It's almost like you each have these private things going on within yourselves. So that's something that needs to be talked about. It needs to be communicated. And I do see you doing that. And I do think this person will be receptive, but they're going to have to tame themselves in order to do that. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome for Pisces, please. Show me the outcome for Pisces. Show me the outcome for Pisces. All right. So we have the Six of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. Nine of Pentacles reversed. And the Seven of Pentacles. So in your outcome, this thing is trying to manifest. It's trying to, what's getting in the way is the fears. It's also the being unhappy that you were with someone else. It's codependency. So all of these things that are individual on each side is affecting the coming together of the entire relationship. You both feel that you're supposed to be together. We have a pair, the King and Queen of Wands. This is likely a relationship that is very passionate. It will successfully manifest, but it's going to come about because of action on both sides. It's going to come about because the two of you are like a royal couple here with the King and Queen of Wands. I do see that success is coming with the Six of Wands, but again, there's things that have to be addressed here, things that likely occurred either during the connection that you need to address, and then things that occurred during the time apart that is really, causing this person to have questions and question themselves and question you and question, everything. I don't see it interfering. I see it being something that needs to be discussed, worked out, addressed. And I do think that will successfully happen. This isn't going to completely manifest by the end of the week, but success in this is coming. I do see also on your side, even with the success, there is this codependent energy, and that is what Spirit is asking you to talk about, to address, and to basically eliminate. On their side, they're trying to be very patient with the process. They're trying to work through the feelings that they have, where they're unhappy, feeling like you chose someone else. They're trying to be very patient and work through the process. They're kind of waiting also to see what it is that you're going to do. They're waiting to see, is this actually going to work out? Is it going to manifest? And I do see it manifesting. That being said, it's this energy. You have to be careful, Pisces, that you're not jumping headlong into something without addressing the underlying things that cause the two of you to have, this breakup in the past, or, there's issues here that just have to be addressed. Okay. So bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. That's underlying energy. You could have a father or a father figure that is very disapproving of this connection. I also feel like at some point you felt devastated. You both did. That's underlying energy for both of you. Also, I see a commitment that hasn't quite come through, like a solid commitment for some of you. So also you want to address that. But the underlying energy here is one where there's been a lot of loss. There's been a lack of support. There's been a lack of commitment. And so these are all issues that you want to look at and to address. Sometimes with the King of Pentacles in reverse, that can also indicate unfaithfulness. This person could be afraid that you are still involved with someone from the past, or there could have been unfaithfulness on one or both sides that has to be addressed. I'm seeing you coming together with somebody, and there's a lot of things that still need to be looked at and talked about and addressed. All right, let's pull you a oracle card and see if there's further advice for you. Pulling for Pisces. There we go. Yep, you have number 21. It's blessings and curses. See, that's what I was saying. The blessing is that you found each other again, but the curses are that there's still a lot that needs to be worked on. All right, it's about self-love, beauty, the psyche. It says, do not be ashamed, not of your thorns, nor of your flowers. Okay, so let's read that. Give me just a second, guys. All right, your affirmation says, I accept all parts of myself. I am divine and whole. The red rose, a guide, has come to pay you an important visit. She seeks to heal and ease a pain in your mind and spirit. There is shame and guilt for who you are lurking in your darkest corners. It's holding you back in ways that you may not realize. She wishes to shine a light there, to show you how to love your darkness into the light, how to turn your demons into angels. The thorns we grow come from a place of pain. They are a result of our need to protect ourselves from outside forces. They are defense mechanisms. Hurt we can sometimes cause others comes from being hurt ourselves. If you try to pick a rose, it will prick you with its thorns. You might have goodwill, but the rose doesn't know that. It's been fooled and hurt before. However, the thorns are also what makes the rose strong, whole, and powerful. Her thorns are the rose's self-worth, her ability to stand up for herself, her discernment, her tenacity, and her persistence to keep going. The things that sometimes harden us also have great gifts to teach us within. The flowers are what the world loves to see us for. Our personality, appearance, and what we do. They are also what we can be judged and criticized for. If we are too beautiful, too different, too colorful, too big, too small, too much, not enough. But the red rose reminds us that we were hand-created by the divine. We are divinity itself. This card is also a positive omen that you are reaching or will reach a point in your journey where you will learn how to accept all of yourself. Your whole, full, and most authentic self. The magic, the mess, and the mundane parts too. This will unlock so much grace and power within you. The beauty you feel within will shine out of your being, pouring out into the world all around you. I love that. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you, Pisces. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video if you can. And until I see you in your next reading, Pisces, know that you are love, and namaste.